Welcome to Global News and Updates. Today's news is dubbed, Colombia backs down from U.S. trade war. The Colombian government has announced its decision to de-escalate trade tensions with the United States, signaling a diplomatic resolution to a dispute that had threatened economic ties between the two nations. The announcement follows weeks of negotiations aimed at addressing key disagreements over agricultural imports, labor rights, and environmental protections. Background: tensions between Colombia and the U.S. began earlier this year when Colombia implemented stricter regulations on certain agricultural imports, citing concerns over unfair competition and environmental impact. The move was met with swift criticism from U.S. officials and agricultural lobbyists, who argued that the measures violated the U.S.-Colombia Trade Promotion Agreement (CTPA). In response, the U.S. threatened retaliatory tariffs on Colombian exports, including coffee and cut flowers, two of Colombia's largest export industries. The potential trade war raised alarms among Colombian business leaders, who feared significant economic fallout. Diplomatic breakthrough: Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced a resolution in a televised address, emphasizing the importance of maintaining strong economic ties with the U.S., Colombia's largest trading partner. We have reached a mutually beneficial agreement that respects our sovereignty, while preserving the integrity of our trade relationship with the United States, Petro said. As part of the agreement, Colombia will ease restrictions on certain U.S. agricultural products, strengthen enforcement of labor protections to align with CTPA requirements, commit to joint environmental initiatives with the U.S. to address deforestation and climate change. In return, the U.S. has agreed to suspend plans for retaliatory tariffs on Colombian goods, provide $200 million in economic aid to support Colombia's transition to sustainable agricultural practices, enhance trade promotion programs to bolster Colombian exports to the U.S. Economic implications. The resolution has been welcomed by industry leaders and economists, who estimate that a trade war could have cost Colombia billions of dollars in lost export revenue. Juan Esteban Orrego, head of the Colombian Chamber of Commerce, stated, "This agreement provides much-needed stability for our exporters and ensures continued access to the U.S. market. However, critics of the deal argue that it does not go far enough to address the underlying trade imbalances. Some Colombian farmers have expressed concerns that increased competition from U.S. imports could harm local industries." International reactions: U.S. officials, U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai called the agreement a win-win for both countries, highlighting the importance of collaboration on labor and environmental issues. Regional partners: other Latin American countries are closely watching the resolution, as it may set a precedent for addressing trade disputes with the U.S. Global markets: the announcement has boosted investor confidence, with Colombia's peso strengthening against the dollar following the news. Conversation prompts: what are the long-term implications of this agreement for U.S.-Colombia trade relations? How can Colombia balance its domestic agricultural interests with international trade commitments? What role should environmental and labor standards play in future trade agreements? Could this resolution serve as a model for other nations navigating trade disputes with the U.S.? Latest updates: 1. Implementation timeline: the first phase of the agreement, including the easing of import restrictions, is set to begin next month. 2. Monitoring mechanism: both countries have agreed to establish a joint committee to monitor compliance with the deal. 3. Opposition protests: Colombian farmer unions have planned demonstrations, calling for additional protections against foreign competition. 4. Economic forecasts: analysts predict a 3% boost in Colombian exports to the U.S. in the next fiscal year as a result of the agreement. Conclusion: Colombia's decision to back down from a potential trade war with the U.S. marks a pivotal moment in the two nations' economic partnership. While the agreement has averted immediate economic risks, its long-term success will depend on effective implementation and continued dialogue. The resolution underscores the importance of balancing national interests with the realities of global trade. I hope you are updated. Keep watching for the next news bulletin.